For self-improvement, crafts, and fitness games, go ahead and turn on YouTube and watch Jack.
Hey, it's Jack here for yet another video. Today's video is going to be me taking the Political Compass exam. And I'm sorry for all these quiz videos. I've just been running behind. I've been trying to keep up my goal of a new video every single week. But I got a lot of good stuff cooking. I got reviews of video games that people have requested. And I got videos of other things that people have requested, app reviews, fitness reviews. There's so much good stuff coming in the pipeline. So why don't you stick around and see how I do. So this is my first time ever taking a political test. Let me start the recording. Start now. So you can see I'm on the website, the Political Compass, 22 years. The test. Before taking this test, please note this isn't a survey and these aren't questions. They are propositions. So yeah, I've never taken anything like this. I've taken like a general political quiz in like high school, but other than that, and this should be interesting because I believe I'm kind of middle in the road when it comes to political issues. So let's see where I actually land. If economic globalization is inevitable, it should primarily serve humanity rather than the interest of transnational corporations. Agree. I always support my country whether it's right or wrong. Disagree. No one chooses their country or birth, so it's foolish to be proud of it. I would disagree with this actually, because I feel like especially since I'm an American, so I feel that, what I do, the taxes I go to, for better or for worse, is for this country. So we should take some pride for all the good things we've done and continue to work towards making things better for everyone. That's such a political... That's why I would never be a good political candidate. I feel like I'm very middle of the road. Our race has many superior qualities compared to other races. Strongly disagree. There's nothing unique about being white or black, or in my case, mixed. I guess mixed. People always, I get yelled at sometimes if I say I'm white, because they're like, "Oh, I saw your genetics quiz. You're, part black." And I'm like, "Okay, I'm mixed." And you're like, "You're not 50-50. I'm like, "Which is it then?" I always just go white unless... I guess I'm online, so I'll just say mixed for now. The enemy of my enemy is my friend. I would say I have no idea. I know this is a popular military quote, but I have no idea what this means. I'll just say agree. Military action that defies international law is sometimes justified. Depends on the law. So, I'd say agree, because I have no idea what the laws are currently. This is another reason why I should never run for office. I have no idea about politics. Politics is not my forte. International politics especially. I believe that we should have good roads, good infrastructure. We should definitely work on fixing it, because there's so many potholes in the roads. The fact that we don't have high-speed rail system here is just bonkers. There's now a worrying fusion of information and entertainment. I guess disagree. I watch CNBC a lot. I watch a lot of Business Insider is a really good YouTube channel. I'm a basic late 20-something. I know I sound like I'm a 50-year-old man, but I'm not. I'm in my late 20s. But I would say I feel like there's definitely some Fox News, CNN type stuff, but no one really watches that nowadays. Most people watch YouTube channels. Again, I feel like that may be a late 20s thing to say. I'm pretty sure younger generations just watch TikTok. The older ones actually watch TV, but people ultimately divided more by class than nationality. I have to agree with that, yeah. Because I feel like, the poor of this country and the poor of Britain have more in common than, say, the differences. Controlling inflation is more important than controlling unemployment. I have to agree with this. Because if you keep inflation low, around the 2% line. I feel like that can help control unemployment. Especially nowadays, inflation is going crazy. Like, what's the point of having a job if that job cannot provide enough for you to live? Because corporations can't be trusted to protect the environment, they require regulation. I agree with that. It's not their job to worry. Their job should be to worry about making money. It's the government's job to worry about ethics and regulations and the environment. From each according to his ability to each according to his needs is fundamentally a good idea. From each according to each according to his needs. What does that mean? I guess to each according to his needs. So is that like the communism type thing where they take like I work to my ability and then it gives it to the poor? I guess I disagree with that. Like, if you earn your money, you deserve to keep it. I definitely believe that we should have better social constructs. We definitely should have better like SNAP benefits. We should have housing for the homeless and all that stuff. But giving people straight up money, I think, is just a bad idea. The freer the market, the freer the people. I don't know. I guess there's no neutral in this too. You can't just click neutral because I feel like some of these I'm just like whatever. I guess I would agree with that. Because, the free market allows you to give choice. You not completely free, like you need regulations and all that stuff. But, yeah, I'd agree with that. It's a sad reflection on our society as something as basic as drinking water is now a bottled, branded consumer product. I disagree. Like, I know there's tons of areas in the country that need bottled water. That's really the only good water they have. So the fact that we have drinking water in a bottle, why is that a bad thing? Before they would just drink bad water. Again, I'm not sure if I'm saying this right. I'm not a political person. Land shouldn't be a commodity to be bought and sold. Disagree. I want to buy some land. I want to buy a house. I want to be able to live far away from people, but still close enough to access the city. That's the dream. It is regrettable that many personal fortunes are made by people who simply manipulate money and contribute nothing to their society. I kind of disagree with this whole statement in general. Like, people who manipulate, like, I assume they're making fun of, like, stockbrokers. Yeah, their overall job may not contribute anything, but the money that they earned is contributing, buying food from restaurants, which is employing their workers. I feel like I disagree just on that premise that people who manipulate money, stockbrokers, things like that, financial advisors, don't do any work. They do. Like, protectionism is sometimes necessary in trade. I don't know what that means, so I'm just going to agree with it. The only social responsibility of a company to deliver profits to its shareholder, I strongly agree. It's people blame the company, but the company should. And one of the things I would say is like the government really doesn't have enough teeth to go after the government. Like if, for instance, the Shell oil spill, like that should have ended the company. Or not Shell, it was a BP oil spill. Like that should have basically bankrupted the company with all the taxes they would have to pay. They should have to pay all of that. The corporations should be liable. I'm blaming the higher ups on this one, just because I guarantee you they're the ones who's pushing all this stuff. The rich are too highly taxed. I disagree. I don't know. I feel like they should be taxed a little more, actually. Just because if you have more, you should be able to pay a little more. Not talking about like a whole lot more. Like, for instance, people who do like the, what do they call them? Oh, God. The capital gains tax is, I think, 20%, which is less than what you would earn if they had like a job, a full-time job. So I think that should be in parity to our full-time job. So that way they would pay more in taxes. Get rid of any and all tax breaks, just have it like a flat rate. Like, hey, you make $60K a year, you can't deduct anything to get it below $60K, so you can pay less in taxes. Like $60K is what you get taxed based off that $60K. There's no deductions. The only two I think there should be is if you have kids, and if you go to college, the continuing education credit taxes, tax breaks, but things for like property, no. Because some people don't want to buy property. Some people don't want to live in a city. You know, I own a townhouse. I get the mortgage tax off of it. I don't think I should, honestly, because like some people just don't want to live that lifestyle, and they shouldn't have to be charged for it. But bringing children thing is a net benefit for society, even if I don't want my own children. Don't get me wrong, never having kids. But I do understand it's a net benefit for society that people have them. Those with the ability to pay should have access to higher standards of medical care. This is a tough one. See, it's so hard without any context. Like, should they have higher standards of medical care? I guess. But I mean, like, the baseline should be so good that higher quality isn't that much above it. Like, maybe the medical care is like, oh, you get like a luxury bamboo sheets instead of like regular cotton ones. That's basically it. That's your luxury. You can spend the extra $100 for those luxury bamboo sheets, but otherwise the rest is going to be the same. So I agree very slightly on that, but, you know. Government should penalize businesses that mislead the public. Yeah, don't lie. Or I agree. Don't lie. A genuine free market requires restrictions on the ability of predator multinationals to create monopolies. I agree. Yeah, we should have. There's definitely some companies like Microsoft, a few others that I do feel like are getting a little too big and a little bit monopolized. But other than that, and definitely like in the agricultural space, like I watched a documentary on like the chicken farming. And that's just crazy. There's like 4 companies that own like all the chickens. Costco tried opening their own chicken farm and they were like blackballed by the industry. Like something like that could be prevented by having a government that actually has teeth and can actually, you know, break up monopolies like the one we have in the chicken industry. But other than that, abortion, when a woman's life is not threatened, should always be illegal. Wait, abortion. So should abortion be illegal? Yeah. I think abortion should be. All authority should be questioned. Agree. An eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. What does that mean? Like someone did you bad and then you do them bad back? Yeah, is that like criminals? I don't know. Taxpayers should not be expected to prop up any theaters and museums that can't survive on a commercial basis. I kind of agree on that. Like, this is hard. So there should be, so we should have taxes for the arts, but like they should be based for the city. Like I know like the city I live in has like their own city museum that our taxes pay for that I believe that we should have. Every town should have a museum that talks about the history of that town. Or every city should have a museum that talks about the history of that city. And that museum should be able to host local art, should be able to host local musicians, things like that. And that should be a thing in every single town. I strongly believe that. But outside of that, like if you have like a for-profit museum that has like Ripley's Believe It or Not, I'm not sure if that's a museum or not, but if they're going under, let them go under. School should not make class attendance compulsory. I disagree. Like, yeah, you should attend school. But I guess if you're homeschooled, I don't believe in homeschooling personally, but if you do homeschool your kid, then I guess that's fine. So I guess I disagree. All people have their rights, but it's better for all of us that different sorts of people should keep to their own kind. What the fuck is this? I hate this. This is one thing I hate. Is like, just tell me exactly. I'm not sure if it's just because I'm too autistic for this, but like, If you just tell me straight up what you mean. People, but it's better for us, a different sort, to keep their own kind. I think it's talking about like maybe black people if they're like, I don't know. I guess I just disagree. Good parents sometimes have to spank their kids. Agree. It's natural for children to keep some secrets from their parents. Agree. Possessing marijuana for personal use should not be a criminal offense. Strongly agree. Definitely legalize marijuana. Come on. It's the 21st century. The prime function of schooling should be to equip the future generation to find jobs. I see, this is the thing I go back and forth on. It's like, I don't think we should do strictly job training in school. We should educate kids enough so that they can think for themselves and discover how to learn so they can learn for their own jobs. Because the thing is, like, you can't train for a job that's going away in 10 years due to automation. However, you can train someone so that they learn enough that they can teach themselves new skills that can compete with the automated world. If that makes any sense. But yeah, I disagree, yeah. It's futile to try and train people. Like, I do think, though, that we should have career programs. That's the thing. Like, I think people should be able to graduate high school with credits to go to college, or even like a CNA certificate or applicator license certificate if they want to go into pest control, which is very specific. But like, yeah, I think high school should be more open to having classes talking about different jobs, mostly those that are hands-on jobs like woodworking, metal. We had metals, we had auto classes, and we would our school partnered with Rankin, which is a college kind of near here. But we partnered with them so that if you went to Mechanics 3 or Autos 3, then you would actually get credit for that college. So yeah, I think we should definitely open kids up to the different abilities of jobs and talk about that. I think the last 2 years of high school should be just on learning and doing different skills and becoming more of a well-rounded person. That's basically what I did. Like, I completed all my prerequisites out of the way, except for things like German. And I had 2 language classes you had to do. I took German I took 2 German classes. But yeah, I think we should definitely have a better education system, definitely. People with serious incurable diseases should not be allowed to reproduce. Disagree. I think should not be allowed is kind of rough. I think it's not smart enough to... And that's the thing, is it's also, what's the serious disability? Like, is it dwarfism? Like, you can survive and live with dwarfism, or even being deaf. But it's just too vague. I need specifics. That's my main problem with politics. You gotta be specific with someone like me. The most important thing for children to learn is to accept discipline. No, not the most important thing. No. It's something you kids should learn, but it's not the most important. There are no savage and civilized people. There are only different cultures. Agree, yeah. And there's nothing wrong with people who want to live off the grid or want to be quote unquote savages, live the life you want to live. But people who are like Amish, like, that's one thing I like about them, is the fact that they have something like Rumspringa where you can actually go out and see what the modern world is like. Like, that should be the same for like any culture. Explore, grow your horizons, see where you want to go and what you want to do with your life. Those who are able to work and refuse the opportunity should not expect society's support. I agree, yeah. If you could work, everyone should be able to work. In the perfect world, everyone would have a job that they can do. And if you don't want to do it just because you're lazy or you're just tired all the time, if you're tired all the time, that could be lead for a disability. Again, I need specifics. When you are troubled, it's better not to think about it, but to keep busy with more cheerful things. I agree. That's how I kind of do it. Because it gives you time and to just, think more things through your trouble. First generation immigrants can never be fully integrated within their new country. Disagree. They can be integrated if they want to be. I don't think there's anything wrong with sticking with what you had with your country. What is good for most successful corporations is ultimately good for all of us. I agree. Yeah. I don't know. I'm mixed, I guess. Maybe disagree. Yeah, I actually disagree with this. Because at the end of the day, for the most successful, so they're talking about the major ones, not the mom and pops. Yeah, I disagree with that. No broadcasting institution, however independent its content, should receive public funding. Wait, no broadcast institution should never receive public funding. So it's just like what I said with the town thing. Like, I think towns should work on creating media for their township, unbiased, nonpartisan media. Like, for instance, we have one in our town that goes to a lot of different food places, talk to the chefs, and just basically show off their food. That's what I use to go and try and find new restaurants to eat. I love the fact that they do that. I think that should be getting city funding. So, yeah, I disagree. Yeah. God, there's 2 more pages of this. 3 more pages. Our civil liberties are being excessively curbed to the name of counter-terrorist. I agree. A significant advantage of one party say is to avoid all arguments that delay progress in the democratic political system. I mean, I agree that that's something that avoids, but, like, that's a bad thing, so I guess I disagree. Although the electronic age made official surveillance easier, only wrongdoers need to be worried. Disagree. Because who's to say what's wrong? The death penalty should be an option for the most serious crimes. Agree. In a civilized society, one must always have people above to obey and people below to command. As bad as it says, like, I mean, I disagree with that just because the word civilized. It's like, who's to say? Where's, again, I need details. Abstract art doesn't represent anything, shouldn't be considered art at all. No, I disagree. Art is just a thing. It's just a word. In criminal justice, punishment should be more important than rehabilitation. I disagree. It is a waste of time to rehabilitate some criminals. I agree. There's definitely people who cannot be rehabilitated into society. But that doesn't mean they should live in like a horrible condition. They should still live in like a pretty good condition. And they should spend time doing things like creating art, learning a skill, and doing that skill in jail from protection of officers. There's no problem at all with that. The business person and manufacturer are more important than the writer and the artist. I don't know if more important is the word. They both have a great and important role. Again, I'm bad at this. I'm so middle of the road that I'm just like, they're both equally good. I guess I disagree. Because at the end of the day, on the end of the day, you need business to survive. You don't necessarily need art, but then the life would be boring. I'm just going to continue. I got so many pages left. Mothers have careers, but their first duty is to be homemakers. Disagree. Multinational companies are unethical, exploiting the plant genetic resources of developing countries. I mean, not all of them. No. Again, nuance. Making peace with establishments is an important aspect of maturity. I agree with that. Like, kind of understanding. Astrology accurately explains many things. Strongly disagree. Astrology, it's not a thing. You cannot be moral without being religious. Disagree. I'm not religious, but I believe I'm pretty moral. But you cannot be moral without being religious. So you can be moral with being Charity is better than Social Security as a means of helping the genuinely disadvantaged. Strongly disagree. We need both. Some people are naturally unlucky. I guess disagree since, whatever. Some people are naturally unlucky. Agree. I'm kind of unlucky. It is important that my child's school instills religious values. Strongly disagree. Maybe disagree, because religion is still so important. I think people should learn about religion. but this shouldn't be instilled. So, sex outside marriage is usually immoral. Strongly disagree. Same-sex couple in a stable, loving relationship should not be excluded from the possibility of child adoption. Strongly agree. They shouldn't be. They should have kids. Pornography should be legal for the adult population. Agree. I'm not. We're in the middle of the road. I guess. Yeah, it definitely shouldn't be illegal. Just because it's, you can be an adult, you can watch whatever. I'm just not a big fan of the industry. What goes on in a private country between no business of the state. Strongly agree. No one can feel naturally homosexual. Strongly disagree. These days, openness about sex has gone too far. Disagree. About the biblical compass. So it looks like like I said, I'm more in the middle. I'm more, I guess, economically right. I'm definitely more libertarian, I guess. So I don't know. See, that's the thing is, I wish it would say like. So I guess I'm more. I don't know where this stands. I'll just say like I'm pretty close to the middle. Like I'm not in one square, any of the pendant squares really. I'm definitely more on like the right libertarian. But like I'm very close to the line. This is basically me. I'm more definitely in the middle. But yeah, I definitely think that this was a good exercise. Like, even though none of the questions were, I wish the questions were more specific. I get that this is more of like, we got to tailor it for everyone. Not everyone is American, so we can't tailor it towards American politics. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. I recommend everyone take your political compass test. So guys, thank you so much for watching this rambling video. Again, I do apologize if you don't like these online video content or the online quiz type content. I'm still working on a ton of different videos that I think you guys will enjoy. So please stick to the channel, subscribe, and if you guys have any ideas, please leave them in the comments below. I'll do pretty much every idea that's legal. So thank you for watching. Have a great rest of the day.